Right. That's better. I got badges at my throat now. Let me get that all back up and running. Shouldn't need that anyway. Right, welcome to the Nurburgring. It is Tier 4 Blue. It is round 2. I know, I'm a round behind. My apologies. Just a quick reminder before we go on to the grid. We've got Tommy in first after round 1, leading the championship by 9 points over Kanata, who's in second. Zab's in third, with way to Trippy, who is a reserve driver, in fourth. Danger Mouse is in fifth. That's rounding off the top 5. And then looking at the constructors, the Jags are looking mighty, not being biased at all, I assure you. Sorry, with 45 points. The 911s are in second, and the AMGs are in
Just
third.
To let you know, before we even get to the feature, I had equipment problems. Lol.
You had equipment problems. Now, see, this is a great moment right here. A driver's already saying excuses, and I've not even started with the replay. I love it. Right, let me get... There's 2-6, there's 2-2, sorry, 2 seconds.
Grinning face with sweat, loudly crying face.
There's Tier 3, Tier 4, I'm trying to find on the hosting. There's Tier 5, there's Tier 6, there's another Tier 5, there's Tier 4, and that is, no, that's the wrong one. Okay, we are in this one, sorry, 2 seconds. Is this the ring? That is the ring. Awesome. I have the ring up. Right, because a particular driver copied me recently from something I did ages and ages ago, I'm kind of going to go back to my old roots of what people quite liked. So, in 16th place is Tom, who didn't manage to finish a quali lap here in the extremely long qualifying session that we had. How they managed to do that is impressive, I must admit. Hang on a moment. Where's... we did... here? You know, screw it. I'm just going to do it this way. So, we got... we got 16... you need to... okay, that doesn't make much sense. The back bit doesn't really make too much sense because it's all in the wrong order. Anyway, it doesn't matter. We're just going to do it this way until... let's go away, Siri. We're going to do it this way because... screw it. So, in 16th, we got Danger Mouse. We then got Crew in 15th. Juicer in 14th in the Peugeot RCZ. Welcome to Tier 4 Blue. We then got Yuri in 13th. D-Dubs in 12th. Radiate in 11th. Matthew in 10th with Tom in 9th position. Apologies, I got you in the wrong place. We then got Zab in 8th. Obi-Wan in 7th. Jezza in 6th. A good qualifying session from him. That. We then got Astro in 4th. Rocket in 3rd. Kanata in 2nd. And then Tommy in pole position in that AMG. So, I'm expecting the Porsches to struggle as well as Jezza to struggle off the line. The rest of the... well, everyone's sort of like there backwards might get a good-ish launch and they might be able to capitalize the position, but this will be interesting. Anyways, we got 5 red lights above us and away we go. Off we go. Tommy gets a great start, so does Rocket in the background. Kanata keeps 3rd position. NTO is going to come up on around the outside, but Astro sends it up in the middle, so does Obi-Wan. Obi-Wan sends it around the outside as we're going to come through the very, very tight, twisty section. Does anyone... Oh, we do not even survive 2 corners. Let's go back. What happens here? Oh no, there's a little bit of contact there between Obi-Wan and NTO. Let's go a little bit further back because I think there's a little bit more chaos. So... that makes sense. Okay, so as NTO is trying to recover, Zab's trying to go sort of through the gap that NTO's coming into. And to be fair to Zab, he's really got nowhere to go, nor does Yuri. So off goes Zab, down goes NTO, down goes Obi-Wan, up goes a lot of other people as there's more contact between Matthew and Jusuf. Further up ahead for P8 and P9. Jez is in P7, Matthew's in P8 as Matthew gives his teammate a bit of a push. He's becoming charging down the hill. D-Dubs has got a great run. He's also got a good start in that McLaren. As we're coming up nearly too wide, D-Dubs sends it up the inside. Juicer hangs it around the outside at the moment. I know I'm not up at the front, but the action's kind of back here at the moment. Obi-Wan's in 11th, having a little bit of a battle with Radiator, who's managed to fall down into P12. D-Dubs stays behind for P10 at the moment. Juicer takes a very bizarre line through the Schumacher S's as we're coming up over the hill. Deep into the braking zone. D-Dubs is now under pressure from Obi-Wan. We're going to go a little bit further forward just very briefly. Check on the rest of the pack. Astro's already got himself a half-second penalty. Kanata's in 3rd. Rocket's in 2nd. Has got himself a half-second penalty too. And Tommy is in another world of his own at the moment. We're going to ignore him for the time being until something happens. Because it's not fun just watching a car drive. You may as well just go and watch a Sunday drive. We're going to come back here though. Juicer up the inside of Jezza. Jezza holding the outside line nicely at the moment. Yuri's in P6. Has managed to keep out of trouble. A great start and a great first opening lap. Or I say opening part of the opening lap through the GP section by Yuri as we come down the hill into the Nordschleife for the first time. D-Dubs still holding 10th position. Obi-Wan not able to make a move past D-Dubs at the moment. NTO down into 30th. There he is. Down into 13th after that first one collision. And Zab's at the back of the pack, just starting to keep up and catch up. Let's go forward a little bit more. Now we're kind of coming into the scene. Why is it every bloody time I leave a car in this tier? Radiate goes off, goes wide, has his rear right suspension damage. Through goes NTO for P12. Danger Mouse does have a little look, isn't able to manage an overtake. M-Crew now under pressure from Zab. Zab's now having to mount the curb on the left. Zab's not managed to get past. Jesus, that is incredibly brave done by Zab. Sends it right up the inside. There's a little bit of contact. Danger goes off the track, comes back on the track, manages to keep the car somehow squared off and in shape. Doesn't lose. Oh dear. I missed that. Oh dear. I heard the very famous sound of death. Thank you. So there's a tiny little bit of touch there. I'm not sure if that was reported to stewards. If it was, I don't know. Well, if it was reported to the stewards, there's the penalty. There we go. Zab's not having a great opening race at the moment. He's dropped right off the back of the grid. There's danger at the moment. Let's go a bit further forward. Bit more action further up the road. Juicer drops off the back of Jezza at the moment. Matthew's just behind him. He's going to potentially look at an overtake shortly and soon, hopefully. You're in a bit of a lonely P6. Tom's in 5th. Astro's in fourth, Kanata's in third, still chasing Rocket, who's in second. And then we got Tommy, who's up into first position, all on his own, kind of like he was last week. That's a lovely camera shot. What a camera shot that is. We're going to come back. Ooh, who's made a small mistake? Oh no, it's our helper. You know what? If I miss things, unless it's really important, I'm not going to go back. Because I'm not sitting here for 20 minutes waiting for something to load. Especially when... Oh... So, Anto, he just drives it wide off into the outside barrier. Somehow doesn't get any damage. Sits right back on the racing line. Gr3 slams on the brakes so he doesn't hit into the back of NTO. We're going to go a bit further forward. Obi-Wan's still all over back of NTO's teammate D-Dubs at the moment. D-Dub goes a little bit wide. He manages to keep the position at the moment, tries to keep track position. Track position here is going to be quite key and vital. He's going to want to keep hold. Oh no. Oh no. I know I just said, wash my words, but this... Let's go from here. Fifth position fight. P4 literally just ahead of him. There we go. I wonder if it's dirty here, or was it the horrible little bump just here, there? It was the horrible little bump, so nearly round goes Tom. Manages to keep hold of it, trying to full throttle his way out of the armco barrier. There he goes. So, down goes Tom. There goes his teammate. Is he going to be able to rejoin just ahead of NTO? No. NTO's going to squeeze through as well, so NTO's back up into P12. Radiates in 11th. Obi-Wan's in the reverse pole here. His Jedi mind tricks might be able to work with this. Now, we're halfway through lap... Well, coming up to the halfway point of lap 1. Still positions could be made. Now we go through this section, very, very fast uphill section, big lift and downshift done by D-Dubs. You can do, you need to do a lift to rear, I think, but you don't need to do that big of a lift. This bit is pretty much flat as well, until you're hard on the brakes. Yuri into the carousel, gets it mostly right. Jezza into the carousel as well. Is there anyone that makes a slight little misjudgment in the carousel? Slight little misjudgment from Danger there. Zab's down as well, and Tom is not having a great lap at all. He's got even more damage. So Tom all the way down at the back of the grid, not having a great opening lap at all. The other Tom, on the other hand, is driving superbly at the moment. Through through YouTube corner to a very, very fast part of the track here. As we bear around to the left, it's a lot tighter than you think. You want to carry a bit more speed, but you can't as we come through this twisty section down the hill. Now, does Tommy brake just before the bump? No, he brakes pretty much on the bump / just after it. Little downshift and round he goes. Tommy is on an absolute flyer at the moment. We're going to go a bit further back. Rocket has opened up a massive gap, about a second of a gap to Kanata at the moment, but with that half-second penalty served halfway down the back straight, that's going to be quite costly for him. He really needs to open up that gap just a little bit more. Kanata looking at potentially P2 here. He is starting to close the gap a little bit on Rocket, just further behind. His teammate Astro's got a half-second penalty as well, with Yuri just behind him. So again, Yuri could be looking at a position gain here at 2 as he hops out of that carousel. Jezza in P6. You